Hello everyone, we got our diploma exit exam preparation syllabus, so let's see why we need to prepare for exam. The exit examination is a test that students must pass to receive a diploma and graduate from school. Such examinations have been used in a variety of countries. This article focuses on their use within the United States. It says DPEA All Subjects Blueprint in Paper 1 Pharmaceutics Pharmacy Law and Ethics Community Pharmacy in Management Hospital and Clinical Pharmacy in Paper 2 Human Anatomy and Physiology Pharmacology Pharmacotherapeutics in Paper 3 Pharmaceutical Chemistry Biochemistry and Clinical Pathology Pharmacognosy Social Pharmacy. It has total 450 marks K paper which divided in 3 parts. No negative marking. Pharmaceutics History of the profession of pharmacy in India in relation to pharmacy education. Industry, pharmacy practice and various professional associations, pharmacopoeias, packaging materials, pharmaceutical aids, preservatives, unit operations, size reduction, size separation, mixing, filtration, drying, extraction, tablets, capsules, liquid oral preparations, topical preparations, nasal preparations, ear preparations, powders and granules, sterile formulations. Immunological products, basic structure, layout, sections, and activities of pharmaceutical manufacturing plants, quality control and quality assurance, current good manufacturing practice, CGMP. Introduction to the concept of calibration and validation, novel drug delivery systems. Next subject is Pharmacy Law and Ethics. General Principles of Law. History and various acts related to drugs and pharmacy profession. Pharmacy ACT 1948 and Rules. Pharmacy Practice Regulations 2015. Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 and Rules 1945 and new amendments. Import of drugs, manufacture of drugs, study of Schedule C and C1, G, H, H1, K, P, M, N, and X. Sale of drugs, administration of the Act and Rules. Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985 and Rules. Drugs and Magic Remedies, Objectionable Advertisements, Act 1954, Prevention of Cruelty to Animals ACT 1960, Poisons ACT 1919. In that FSSAI, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, Act and Rules, National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, Code of Pharmaceutical Ethics, Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act and Rules. Role of all the government pharma regulator bodies, good regulatory practices, introduction to BCS system of classification, basic concepts of clinical trials, and NDA, New Drug Development. New Drugs and Clinical Trials Rules, 2019. Brand V, S Generic, Trade Name Concept, Introduction to Patent Law and Intellectual Property Rights, Emergency Use Authorization, Blood Bank. Clinical Establishment Act and Rules, Biomedical Waste Management Rules 2016, Bioethics, Introduction to the Consumer Protection Act, Introduction to the Disaster Management Act, Medical Devices. Next subject is Community Pharmacy and Management. Community Pharmacy Practice, Prescription and Prescription Handling, Communication Skills, Patient Counseling. Patient counseling points for chronic diseases, disorders, hypertension, diabetes, asthma, tuberculosis, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and AIDS, patient package inserts, PPI. Medication adherence, health screening services in community pharmacy, over-the-counter, OTC medications, self-medication and role of pharmacists in promoting the safe practices during self-medication. Community pharmacy management, digital health, health and online pharmacies. Hospital and clinical pharmacy. Hospital pharmacy, Good Pharmacy Practice, GPP, in hospital. Hospital Pharmacy Standards, FIP Basel Statements, AHSP, Introduction to NAQS Guidelines and NUB Accreditation and Role of Pharmacists, Different Committees in the Hospital. Supply Chain and Inventory Control, Drug Distribution, Compounding in Hospitals, Radiopharmaceuticals, Application of Computers in Hospital Pharmacy Practice, Clinical Pharmacy, Pharmaceutical Care. Clinical laboratory tests used in the evaluation of disease states, poisoning, pharmacovigilance, medication errors, human anatomy and physiology, scope of anatomy and physiology, structure of cell, tissues of the human body, osseous system, hemopoietic system, lymphatic system, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, digestive system, skeletal muscles, nervous system, sense organs, urinary system, endocrine system, reproductive system, pharmacology, general pharmacology, drugs acting on the peripheral nervous system, drugs acting on the eye, drugs acting on the central nervous system, drugs acting on the cardiovascular system, drugs acting on blood and blood-forming organs, bronchodilators, expectorants, antitussive agents, mucolytic agents, drugs acting on the gastrointestinal tract, drugs acting on the kidney, hormones and hormone antagonists, autocoids, chemotherapeutic agents, drugs belonging to following classes: penicillins, cephalosporins, aminoglycosides, fluoroquinolones, macrolides, tetracyclines, sulfonamides, antitubercular drugs, antifungal drugs, antiviral drugs, anti-amoebic agents, anthelmintics, anti-malarial agents, anti-neoplastic agents, biologicals, PHARMACOTHERAPEUTICS, pharmacotherapeutics. Definition: etiopathogenesis, clinical manifestations, non-pharmacological and pharmacological management of the diseases associated with cardiovascular system, respiratory system, endocrine system, central nervous system, gastrointestinal disorders, hematological disorders, infectious diseases, tuberculosis, pneumonia, urinary tract infections, hepatitis, gonorrhea and syphilis, malaria, HIV and opportunistic infections, viral infections, SARS, CoV-2, musculoskeletal disorders, dermatology, psychiatric disorders, ophthalmology, antimicrobial resistance. Women's health, pharmaceutical chemistry, introduction to pharmaceutical chemistry, sources and types of errors, impurities in pharmaceuticals, volumetric analysis, gravimetric analysis. Inorganic pharmaceuticals, hematinics, gastrointestinal agents, topical agents, dental products, medicinal gases. Heterocyclic compounds containing up to 3 rings. Study of the following category of medicinal compounds in details is mentioned in D.Pharm. Education Regulation 2020 or 2020. Drugs acting on central nervous system, anesthetics, sedatives and hypnotics, antipsychotics, anticonvulsants. Antidepressants in the drugs acting on autonomic nervous system, sympathomimetic agents, direct acting, indirect acting agents. Sympathomimetic agents with mixed mechanism, adrenergic antagonists. Cholinergic drugs and related agents, cholinesterase inhibitors, cholinergic blocking agents, synthetic cholinergic blocking agents. Drugs acting on cardiovascular system, antiarrhythmic drugs. Antihypertensive agents, antianginal agents, diuretics, hypoglycemic agents, analgesic and anti-inflammatory agents, anti-infective agents, antifungal agents, urinary tract anti-infective agents, antitubercular agents, antiviral agents, antimalarials, sulfonamides, antibiotics, anti-neoplastic agents, biochemistry in clinical pathology, introduction to biochemistry. Scope of biochemistry in pharmacy: cell and its biochemical organization, carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, nucleic acids, enzymes, vitamins, metabolism of carbohydrates, metabolism of lipids, metabolism of amino acids, proteins, biological oxidation, minerals, water and electrolytes, introduction to biotechnology, organ function tests. Introduction to pathology of blood and urine, pharmacognosy, introduction to pharmacognosy, classification of drugs, quality control of crude drugs, occurrence, distribution, isolation. Identification tests, therapeutic activity and pharmaceutical applications of alkaloids, terpenoids, glycosides, volatile oils, tannins and resins. Biological source, chemical constituents, and therapeutic efficacy of the crude drugs covered in the syllabus mentioned in D.Pharm. ER 2020. Plant fibers used as surgical dressings. Basic principles involved in the traditional systems of medicine like Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani and homeopathy, method of preparation of Ayurvedic formulations like Arista, Asava, Gutika, Thaila, Churn, Lehya and Bhasma, role of medicinal and aromatic plants in national economy and their export potential, herbs as health food, herbal formulations, herbal cosmetics. Phytochemical investigation of drugs. Social pharmacy, introduction to social pharmacy, concept of health, national health policy, introduction to Millennium Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goals, FIP Development Goals, preventive healthcare, nutrition and health, introduction to microbiology and common microorganisms, epidemiology, causative agents. Clinical presentations and role of pharmacists in educating the public in prevention of the class of diseases include respiratory infections, intestinal infections, arthropod, surface infections, STDs, HIV, AIDS, health systems and all ongoing national health programs in India, pharmacoeconomics.